Hi everyone, this is Team with Motorcycling and I have another review for you today. Today I will be talking about the Grip EQ A14 Tour Backpack. This is the biggest bag in their lineup. This is the first one of the A series. They do have a smaller version called the Agile that they recently just come out with. So what I'm going to do is do an overview of the backpack, talk about some of the reasons why I purchased this backpack, and if there are any pros and cons to the backpack, I'll go over that as well. So let's dive into it. Oh, before I go on, I just want to talk about a little bit about my metrics. I am 5'2", very short female disc golfer. I can't seem to find a lot of information from a female disc golfer standpoint, let alone a short one. So I figure I will give my input to see if maybe I can help out with any young female disc golfers, or if any guys out there are looking for a gift for a girlfriend or a wife. Hopefully this will help you in some form or fashion. Okay, so the A series, what they're talking about from Grip EQ is the side profile of the bag. So their first run of bags ever were called the L series, and that was the in the shape of an L with the perpendicular line and the horizontal line. So the center of gravity was in the 90-degree form. This new bag, the center of gravity is in the middle here, and it basically distributes the weight out like so. So now it looks like the letter A from the side profile. So just a little bit of quick overview right there. All right, so let's dive into the bag. I'm going to start from the bottom of the bag. What we have down here are two very heavy-duty, sturdy plastic rails, and they are bolted down with 3 bolts on each one. And what that allows for the bag to do is be lifted off the ground by about 3/4 of an inch. This allows to keep the bottom of the bag dry on your early morning disc golf tee times. If there's dew on the grass, if you're having a little bit of a drizzle or a little bit of a downpour, this will help keep the bag dry, which I think is a really nice touch. So that's starting from the bottom. I'm going to talk about the materials a little bit while I'm down here. This material is a 1000D Cordura. It is coated with a material to help repel water. It is not water resistant, it repels water. It's kind of a similar coating. I'm not sure if it is exactly the same, but it's a similar coating as you find on some of the motorcycle gear, riding gear, jackets and pants. They do put a little bit of a coating on it to repel water, but it's not water resistant, so keep that in mind. So this gray area right here is all 1000D Cordura. And moving on from there, we have this red material, which is the colored portion, and these bags do come in an array of colors, so keep that in mind as well. This material is a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner than this 1000D Cordura, so I would imagine this is probably 420 or maybe, I think it's about 420, 450 D Cordura, but the Grip EQ website doesn't really talk about the material in this. I just know this is a 1000D Cordura. This print right here is the large Grip EQ logo. There is a second run of the A series where this is now a disc golf map, and some people like that better. I really don't mind this logo. To me, it looks like a spider web, so it doesn't really matter to me. What this is called a screen print. They used to stitch on their logo in the L series, and the L series, the stitching would get dirty and would fray, and it would starting to come off. Their thinking was that the screen print would look a little bit better. It's seamless, it's more of a clean design, and so I actually personally like it. Some people don't like it, but I find it just quite fine. This pocket is right here, is really big. It runs from one side of the frame of the bag to the other side of the frame of the bag, and actually gives you a lot of space. You can keep your scorecards in here, another extra disc, just more room in general right there. Moving on from there, you have the same material right up here, all the color materials. Up here, another screen printing of the Grip lettering, and then the same thing at the top, more red Cordura for you. The zipper itself, they're not YKK zippers, but they are pretty durable zippers. They're not the best zipper, they're not the top of the line YKK zippers, but they are pretty durable. I've used it for a year and I haven't seen any problems with it. It is pretty easy to open, so nothing difficult right there. There is a little bit of Velcro pocket right here. Again, large amount of space. This is also to put more discs, another disc in here. Some people can fit a couple drivers in here, one putter, maybe 2 mid-ranges, something like that. Then moving on from there, we have another zipper. Again, not YKK, but there is a little bit of a cloth to give it a little bit more of a seamless look. I think that's a really nice touch. Moving on from there, another zipper right here. This zipper is to the quiver pocket right inside. This is where most people put their putters, right in here, and that allows to, you know, easy access. I've seen anywhere people have stuffed anywhere from 2 to 4 discs right in here. Sometimes they put even towels along with 2 putters in here just to make sure their putters are constantly dry. This pocket I haven't shown you. Basically, an array of things can go right in here. There are a little bit of compartments in here to partition off your different items in the bag so that they're not rolling around everywhere and you're not having to hunt for it. There is a little bit of a key ring right here. This helps keeps your key afloat so that you're not having to dig in here, and I do find this very useful. I don't like having keys in my pockets when I'm playing disc golf, so I do hook my keys right in here so that it's not falling in here and I'm not having to dig for it. So there are your basically plethora of pockets right in front, along with some really nice zippers. Moving on from there, there are some pencil holders at the top right here. I do find these pencil holders at the top very useful. I think it's very nice. I don't have to bend all the way down here like in the old bag to get it down here, or even in my standard old setup, the quad system setup bags, because everything is literally on the ground and the pencil holders are always on the ground, and I find this up here very useful. Moving on from there, we're going to go to the side pocket real quick here. The side pocket itself has this loop. This loop is to help hold anything from umbrella to a stool. And this actually cinches down. So once you put the umbrella right through here, this cinches down for you, and that holds the umbrella and the chair in place if you were to use that feature. There's also little loops in here. This just helps to carry things such as a bag tag or anything flopping around that you want to flop on your bag, pretty much. This outside pocket right here, I just use it as a mini. There is a little loop inside here. There's a little loop inside. That loop is for umbrella to hold in place so that it's not flopping around in the pocket. It actually is towards the back of the bag to keep that center of gravity towards the center of the bag, and put the pointy part or whatever into the loop and feed it right through here, and that holds the bag in place. And also the same if you want to put one of the legs of the stool into that would work as well. Moving on from there, again, another big zipper all the way from the top of the bag all the way down here. This zipper allows for a nice big pocket. This particular bag, Grip EQ has mentioned that there is expandable seams that's built into this bag. And one of the things that's hard to explain is that if you were to look inside the bag here, you can see that there's many different seams, and then I can put my finger right in here, and you can see that there is amount of space that is hidden in here. What that does is it allows you to have more space while looking seamless and looking more streamlined, which I think is a really nice feature that Grip has done. You have a thin, nice black accent right here, and what I really like is this red accent. What that does is brings the red colors all the way around towards the bag, and it just gives it a really nice touch. Some people don't really care for these things, but this is one of the things I care about. I think it's a nice touch to have a colored accent right here to bring the rest of the bag all the way around. Moving on from there, we have another compartment pocket right here. I use this to have tape. I don't know why, but electrical tape is always useful somewhere. I just know this for a long period of time. So random things in here, and then the rest of the pockets is a huge pocket. There is another compartment pocket right down here, and you can see with my finger right here, I actually have a garbage bag that's folded up that's in this compartment. You just never know when you need a garbage bag, so I always put one in there. And the rest is just miscellaneous stuff, and this pocket is worth pretty big. I've put a hoodie in here. It's a medium-sized hoodie. I have not tried a large hoodie yet, and it's just basically a plethora of things you can fit in these pockets. So that's the side pocket itself. Moving back on the other side is identical, exactly the same. We're going to go back towards the back of the backpack. Right here we have a nice pocket for your bottle holder. Again, this red accent brings the whole front of the bag all the way around so that you have this red, you know that your bag is colored red. It gives it a nice personal touch, I think. So this pocket right here, you can definitely hold a 32-ounce Gatorade bottle or Powerade if those prefer Powerade. And you can actually hold an Nalgene bottle. This is my water bottle that I use. during my rounds. The reason why I use this bottle is because I like to have ice with my ice cold Gatorade or water. So this keeps it cool for 8 hours on the course. So that's why I use it. It's a little bit big, but as you can see, it fits nice and comfortably into this pocket. There's also pencil holders, more pencil holders in the back of this pocket as well. At the bottom of this pocket, if I were to lift it up, there is a little bit of a hole, peephole right here, and I'm going to show you right now, as soon as I can get to it. There's my finger sticking out. This is a drain hole for both sides of the pocket, so if you were to spill any water or rain gets in here, it will drain right out of this hole right here. And it's a really nice touch. It's very seamless, you don't even know it's there, but I think that's a really good spot. More screen printing for the On Tour logo right there. But overall, that pocket works really nicely. If you can see when I put my bag in here, my bottle in here, you can see that it's not hanging and flopping around as if the weight is just flopping out of place. It's actually holding it nice and tight towards the center of the backpack, which is where you want the center of weight towards the center of the backpack, and that helps decrease fatigue while you're on the field. So I think it's a really nice touch. Moving on from there, the straps themselves, they are stitched a little bit lower from where the top of the quiver pocket is, which I'm not really sure, because this is the first disc golf backpack. I think it does sit very well on my shoulders, having it stitched right here. I am a little bit worried about the quality and the durability right here. It's just stitched on. I don't think it's stitched all the way down further. I think this is where it stops the stitching, so hopefully this will last and it will not unstitch and fall off. But as far as the straps themselves, there is a 3D mesh right here, and this 3D mesh goes all the way around, all the way over the top of this handle right here, and all the way to the other side of the strap. This helps keep the strap off of the shoulders and off of the front of your chest, to help create an airflow gap between this 3D mesh and your skin, to help keep it cool while you're on the field. With that in mind, this is also 3D mesh with a plenty of amount of padding. We're talking about probably about 1/2 inch worth of padding. It's a very soft 3D mesh, and this also creates a bit of an airflow right through here to help keep your back cool while you're on the field. And then the rest of the strap itself, there's plenty of loops right here. These are not loops, these are actually stitched down. There's no loop right here to put towels, more tags, more things you want to put on here, chains. There's also a sternum strap that goes right in here. The snap itself is pretty durable. It's not the highest collapse. I don't think it's weather resistant, meaning that in hot weather this might expand and actually cause some wear and tear over a period of time. But this is a disc golf backpack. This is not something for hiking or motorcycle riding or treading through the Sahara Desert. But you can hear the click of the clasp. It's a very good sound, so it actually is pretty functional. This little strap right here has a little bit of elasticity right there, so it gives it has a little bit of a give for someone who's got a bigger chest or wider chest. All right, so you saw that there's these little snaps right up here, and I'll just go over right now what those are for in a minute. So that is the exterior of the backpack. Let's move inside the backpack real quick. So starting from the bottom, you've already seen this pocket right here, this big zipper. I've already shown you what the interior of these pockets are. This big zipper leads into the main compartment on the inside. The main compartment inside has a bit of a vinyl interior. It's not soft. It's not meant to be soft. You're going to be throwing discs in and out, so it's not meant to be soft. So it has a bit of Velcro. This Velcro piece right here actually is supposed to attach to this Velcro piece right here. And the way you're going to do that is, before I go into that, this pocket right here is all of my stuff from this compartment. So this is the quiver pocket right here, as you can see. This little yellow strap is how you're going to adjust how the quiver pocket goes up and down to push the two putters in and out. So I'm going to show that to you right now. So if I hold this yellow piece and pull it up, I'm actually going to do that with the disc in so you can see, and I think that would give you a better visual than anything. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'm going to put two putters in here. And you can see now it sits flush. This is fun when you're traveling on the plane or driving and you want to put your putters away. It sits flush, you can zip her away. So what I'm going to do is unzip it, and I'm going to push this yellow and adjust this quiver pocket to push the putter up. And you can see now it is sitting up and it's not sitting flush, so that way you can access your putters a lot easier. So let me go ahead and adjust it again. And there you go. And now you have the putter sitting at the top. And then, once you've done that, this Velcro right here, push this main flap into the Velcro, and now that creates an opening for you on the inside. So on the inside, what we have at the bottom of the main compartment is this hard plastic piece, along with this hard plastic piece on that side, another one on this side, and then another big piece all the way at the back, and that extends from the top of this bag all the way to the bottom, that plastic piece right here. Those components create the frame of the bag, and that's what keeps the bag standing while you're on the field. So I will show you what this looks like with discs inside. So this pocket, I use this for my approach disc, like so. And then I'm just going to throw some discs in here. This is actually my own personal bag that I use, so I have all the discs that I normally would carry around on the field. So we're just going to go ahead and do that right now. Alright. There you go. And that's what it looks like. And that's pretty much what the bag looks like once it's set up. The last thing I want to go over is there's actually a little pocket in here. A little pocket right in here. And there, you can hear the Velcro that just came undone, and that brings out the rain fly. And I think the rain fly is one of the things that that gives this bag great versatility, because it actually helps keep water out of this main compartment, basically where all your discs are, and keep it dry during a round. So remember those buttons I told you earlier. This rain fly has little snap buttons on it. So this first one, the main one at the top right here, is going to go right where the handlebar is of the strap. The rest of it is now going to snap in right in these buttons. One on that side, one on this side, and the bottom right here is going to snap right underneath where the cup holder is. And what this does is it does a very nice job of keeping the bag covered. And you do the same thing on this side as well. And I think it does a very nice job of keeping this bag covered and keeping the discs nice and dry. That's pretty much the overview of the bag. Now let's go over some of the reasons why I purchased this bag. So the first reason why I purchased this bag is a very minor reason, which is this rain fly. At the time when I purchased this, there were some backpacks that didn't really have a rain fly, but majority of them did. So I like the rain fly. I like the way that it's built. I think it's a nice quality material, and it does a very good job of keeping the rain out. The second reason why I purchased this bag is because I needed something a little bit bigger, and I needed something to carry, a bag that would carry 20 discs. I had a bag that carried probably 17 comfortably, but only about 15 if I were to carry a lot of mid-ranges and a lot of putters. So my disc selection is mostly fairway drivers. So from about here are fairway drivers, mid-ranges, and putters. And you can see the three putters up here. I do have a few high-speed drivers, but I don't have many drivers to begin with. So that's why I wanted a bag that was going to give me a bit more room so I can carry a little bit more drivers. Before I could only carry probably 3 drivers, and the rest were mid-ranges and putters. And so that's the second reason why I purchased this bag. The third reason is I wanted to go to a backpack system, and the reason why I wanted that is because I come from a motorcycle background, and I have an array of motorcycle backpacks that I use, and backpacks have been around for years, and they have helped keep our backs from being strained and from keep it up from being fatigued when you're on the field at whatever you're doing, whether you're doing hiking, doing a Sahara Desert crossing, things like that. So I figured I'd try a backpack system versus a quad system, because the quad system, what happened was the disc was sitting kind of like on my butt. And this, I thought a backpack would help keep the disc off my butt and towards my body, towards my torso. So that's why I purchased this bag, was to try to get that functionality out of a disc golf bag. With that being said, let's go over some of the pros or cons that I find with this bag. And one of the, I don't really find, I wouldn't say that these are pros or cons or anything. I think overall thoughts and my nitpicks about backpack, because I have such a high expectation from a backpack. So overall, I think this backpack is a really complete package in terms of its functionality, in terms of what it's used for on the disc golf field. However, it is over $200. It is about $240 for this backpack. With that being said, it is quite a lot of money. And a lot of people are thinking, this is a hard decision to make. So, but from a disc golf standpoint, this is one of the few companies that have made such a complete disc golf bag. And one of the things I liked about this bag is that it's very streamlined. It's a very pretty bag, and I think most people find it aesthetically pleasing, and I think that's one of the things why this bag is such a complete package. It's pleasing, it's good to look at, and it actually has a lot of functionality. The pockets themselves are a little bit tricky to work with because of the design. And what I did was I sacrificed the streamlined design for me actually having to require some technique when I pack this bag. So when you put a pair of jeans, a pair of shoes, or a hoodie in here, you have to fold it up so that it would fit in this bag because of the shape of this pocket. Whereas my Revolution bag, the pocket was pretty much a square, and all you had to do was just roll it up and throw it in there, and it would fit because the pocket was just so huge. The problem with that is now I have two different weights on the side of the bag hanging down like this versus hanging towards the torso of my body. And that's what this bag does, is that whatever weight you put on it, it's going to try to keep it towards the center of this bag because of the way it's built. And so function and form, over laziness is another reason why I purchased this bag. And I think that's a plus for this bag. It does do that. Now, there are a lot of backpacks that will do this for you now. So don't get me wrong, this is not the best bag in the market. I'm pretty sure there are other bags that will fit that criteria as well. One of my things is that I prefer, with a backpack that has zippers, and I constantly use zippers, I prefer YKK zippers. And I think for $200, I think it can be done where you can put YKK zippers on this bag for almost $250 for this bag at the time. I think YKK zippers would be a better option to make sure that these zippers will last a little bit longer. I think this rail on the bottom is a great idea. And then the rainfly itself is very functional. However, when it's in a downpour, I have to pull it out of this pocket to actually put it on the bag. And I think I would rather have it come out from the top right here with one hand, and the rainfly gets stitched down into a pocket, its own pocket right here, and actually pull it out like so. I think that would actually make it a little bit more functional than having to pull it out here and then fold it back to put it back in here. But overall, it still functions. That's my nitpicky. Some people might not like that. There are backpacks where you pull it out on the top and go, pull it down. So keep that in mind. Also, this is water repellent. So if you were just having a little bit of droplets, a little bit of drizzle, this will keep it dry, and it's not going to seep into here. But I think with these pockets, like, if you're going to put some personal belongings in here, if you're going to put discs in here, that's fine. But if you were to put wallet, your cell phone in here, this zipper pocket, I think you can make it water resistant zipper pocket, and I think that would give it a little bit of a nicer touch in terms of keeping your personal items that are valuable completely dry. That's just my nitpicky. So overall, I think those are some of the pros and cons that I found about this backpack. And I think the one, it could just be me, but as a backpack, this padding, I think it could be better. You can see that when I press on it, there's not a lot of give. and that's because it's not a lot of cushion on these straps. I think the cushion on these straps could be a little bit thicker, with a little bit better of a 3D mesh material. This 3D mesh is kind of a cloth material, and it's not a high quality 3D mesh. I think with a better 3D mesh and a bit thicker padding, this would make a very more comfortable strap system. This 3D mesh functions really well, but not as well as I would like. I did get hot during the hot summer days going through the field, because this 3D mesh is, it's mesh, but it's not, it could be just a little bit thicker, just a little bit, maybe a centimeter thicker, and you would find a little bit more ventilation that way, along with better 3D mesh material. So, finally, the last few words I have for you would be what I use this bag. I had used it all last season. I used it in a tournament setting, a leisure setting, hot and humid days, and in the rain. So during one of my tournaments, it was a downpour. This thing functioned beautifully in terms of keeping the water out of the main compartment. In hot weather, the back of the backpack can get a little hot. So if those of you who don't sweat a lot and don't get hot, then this wouldn't be a problem. But for those of you who do get hot and sweaty, you will find that this back here, while being functional on some days, you can get hot wearing this backpack because of just the way sheer size that it has. Lastly, this will look big on you if you're a short person. You will look like a giant turtle walking around because it's just massive for short people. So keep that in mind. For tall people, it's not going to be such a huge problem. But for short people, as you can see right here, I'll unzip this so you can see. When this came out of the box, you can see how long this strap is. And I actually had to adjust it all the way down to almost nothing. Basically, it is nothing in order for it to fit me because I'm 5'2". So I actually had to create a system to strap this down because this would just be flapping everywhere as I'm walking on the field. Being a short person, when you wear this and you try to put your hand through here, you will hit this water bottle, whatever you have here, whichever side. You will constantly hit this to try and get it onto your body. So keep that in mind as well. So that's not really common, but that's just the way the backpack is built, and if you're a short person, that's some of the problems you're going to run into. I think I've said enough. I'm going to show you what it looks like on me, and then we'll call it a day. Alright, I'm back. I'm going to show you what the backpack looks like on me. And then just before I do that, a couple things here. These type pockets have a combined capacity of 9.5 liters, which is about 580 cubic inches. That's a fairly good size for a backpack to help carry your items around the course. But like I said, it just requires a little bit of technique to put it in the bag versus just throwing things in there, which I think it's worth it if you think about the ergonomics about a backpack in general. So I think that's another reason why I bought it. I want the ergonomics of a backpack. Finally, there are about 20 discs total in the bag I have right now. There are 17 in the main compartment, and then a putter here and 2 putters up here, so that's 20 disc capacity, which is a little bit more than what I had from the 15 disc bag that I had before. So keep that in mind as well. You can definitely put more than 20 discs in here. I just opt not to, so you have plenty of options in terms of carrying the amount of discs that you need. All right, I'm going to show you what it looks like when I'm trying to put it on with the holder here. So you can see as I'm putting this on, my elbow touches this water bottle, swing it around, and I'm going to put this on here, and you can see it's a little bit of a trick to put it on the backpack. Unfortunately, it's adjusted all the way down because I'm such a short person and I have a short torso. This is the only option I have. Sorry, pants are falling. But so as you can see, it sits off of my butt, and it sits more on my lower back and torso versus the other setup I have. The pockets are not flapping everywhere and dangling everywhere on the side. It's actually towards the middle of the bag, which is nice. Towards the bag, I mean. So that's a really nice touch in my opinion. And then the sternum strap itself, it's a little thin, this thin strap, but actually I think it does function very well once you strap it on. The backpack feels more tight and holds well, so when you're having a long walk from hole to hole, this actually does help. Or for your caddy. I did have a caddy. She actually has a bigger bust than I do, and she said the strap does help a lot compared to, I don't have much of a bust, but she does. So for those women who have a bust, this is something to think about as well. so you can see what the backpack looks like on me. And then I'm going to show you how, you know, what it looks like taking it off. This is really a short person problem. If you're a much taller person, this might not be such a problem with this. So I would not take it off on this side, because you can see this is going to be a problem taking it off. So what I do is I actually take it off on this side and put my hand through here in order to get it out. So just keep in mind that it's a little tricky for a big bag like this if you're a short person. Alright, that's Ian with motorcycling, and I hope you have a good day, and happy chucked disking, or disc chucking, I should say. Anyways, any questions, comments, leave it down below. If you like it, share it, like it, and then subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys next time in the next video. Bye bye.